And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever I find you guys, and you found me on AARP Virgin Islands Facebook page. Thank you for being here. So I really want to do a big shout out to AARP Virgin Islands for this, and AARP, the national organization. They've been around over 60 years, and some of us know them for their magazine. I get my magazine every month. I love the magazine. Some of us know them for their term life insurance, but they have a wealth of assistance, guidance, information, both medical, psychological, practical, you name it. They really do an amazing job of supporting, advocating for our senior community. And this is one of the largest senior communities ever in history because, of course, we're all living so much longer, right? And so I think they do a beautiful job. So thank you, AARP, and especially AARP Virgin Islands, the team, Pamela, knowing and people who I don't know, but who help make this possible, this offering of wellness classes on an online platform, which they started right at COVID. As soon as they shut down, they were like, how can we get stuff out here? So beautiful. Thank you. And also thanks to the Breathe community, Breathe St. Thomas, a real mindfulness-based organization and community, who are also supporting and making possible this class. So I'm Jane, and hi. So this is what I would call a gentle yoga practice, okay? A mindful yoga practice. Yes, we move, but yes, we also sit. We sit, we breathe, we quieten the mind, and we have an experience of who we are in the present moment, right? Whether we're sitting, whether we're struggling with the thinking, whether we're moving the body or finding it difficult to move the body, whatever the experience is, we are willing to be with it, to be present in the now. Because the whole of your life unfolds from the now. Even the past unfolded back then in the now. The future will unfold when you get to in the now, a few days from now, tomorrow, whatever. So your whole life unfolds in the now. And it's the only place we can have any impact, right? So yoga is a beautiful way, a portal for us to find ourselves centered, balanced, and therefore better able to navigate our life. Yeah. So this is the beginning of Heart Month. And so I invite you to think about red. Maybe you can wear red, starting from tomorrow, I believe it is. But think about your heart. And I'd love for you to think about your heart, both from a psychological and a spiritual standpoint, and certainly about heart health physically, the biology, the physiology of the heart, and practices and nutrition, and ways of moving, and ways of being that all support you to have optimum heart health. And thanks to AARP for advocating for this and bringing us all sorts of tips and ideas on how to thrive, not only in heart, but in mind and in physical body. Okay. Thinking about heart, I just want to say one thing. The thinking mind, the analytical thinking mind, and the heart, meaning the emotional body, these two are in harmony, and the digestive brain, there's also a brain. In fact, they say that there's more brain in the gut than there is even in the brain matter in the head. When all these come together, that is the yoga. Yoga means yoke or union or linking. And so we think about how this is a practice for our entire being, right? And it doesn't matter if you just come to stretch, or if you just come to work your core, or if you just come to take time out for your mat. It really doesn't matter why you come. It's all good. Anytime that you take a little time for yourself and you come at it without critique and judgment, willing to explore arises, it's all good. So welcome. And I hope this is of benefit to you. So let's find our seat. And it could be on a chair, right? If you're on a chair, I invite you to sit tall, so move towards the front end of the chair. If you are able to hold your body upright, your torso upright in that position, so no slouching back. If you're on the floor, you might sit on a bolster cushion. I'm out in the sun, you guys, so that's why I'm wearing sunglasses. I hope it's not disturbing to you. But I've got the sun right up in the corner. It'll probably move in a minute, and then I can take them off. So sit up tall. Now, I don't mean erect and stiff, right? Just sit up tall, but feel the ground beneath your feet and close your eyes. And drop the chin down a little bit so that the back of the neck is in line with the whole spine. And soften the shoulders. And just drop down into your body. So quiet the mind and find yourself resting in your body. And breathe. And sense and feel. Take a little scan of the body. Notice where you're tight, where you feel warm and well and easeful. Just notice these things. Maybe move the body if something feels tight. Often it's the neck and the shoulders. For a lot of women, it's the hips. And can you feel the ground beneath you, the chair, the cushion, the earth? Can you get a sense of dropping down and feeling yourself held by the ground beneath you? As you breathe mindfully in and out through the nose, can you sense in your body what all is moving, what all is engaged in breathing? Maybe it's warmth or tingling at the nostrils. Maybe it's the diaphragm expanding, the chest widening, the heart lifting. And maybe it's the belly going back to the spine as you finally exhale all the air, as you let it go. And then perhaps bring the hands into Namaste in front of the heart, our heart-centered yoga. And feel the back of the thumbs really touching the sternum so you feel a connection. It's not just an instruction or somebody saying something. It's a connection you're making. Hands to heart, holding the heart, blessing the heart. And perhaps we'll open with 3 Oms, the chant of Om. Inhale. Om Tat Sat. All right, that's better. Okay, let's warm up a little bit. Remembering that on the exhale, the invitation is to always ask for a little bit more if we're in a stretching mode, or if we're in a controlling mode or a strengthening mode. There's something wonderful about when you exhale, that kind of egocentric drive and push and goal setting sort of dissipates, and we allow the body to just kind of be. And so on the exhale, let us round like a seated cat here, Shoulders come forward, belly to spine, gazing down, chin to chest, and on the inhale, the reverse. We rise up for a seated version of cow, lifting the heart, widening the chest, gazing up. Exhale round. Inhale for sky. And round. Flowing this now with your breath, the pace of your breath. 2 more. Bring up to a neutral spine. Let's take the hands and the arms, the fingers forward, and creasing at the hip joint, begin to draw the heart towards the earth. Slowly, perhaps moving and shifting as you find your way through this journey. Remember, there's no end goal. The journey is the thing. Don't get caught up in destinations here. Let it be a practice of exploration, discovery, curiosity as a journey. Take a couple of breaths if you have blocks or you have books or you have anything and you bring the earth up to meet you. Perhaps that creates a bit of a sense of ease in the body, more ease, more comfort. Always a good idea. Drawing back on up, navel to spine, always protecting and engaging the core in everything we do. And drop the right ear down to the right shoulder. It's nice to keep the eyes closed during these early parts of the yoga practice so that we're less inclined to be stimulated and distracted by other things, and we can reach deeply into the body and experience somatically what's going on in the moment. Inhale to lift and exhale the other side. Maybe we drop one hand down to the earth, the opposite hand to the way the head is laying. You can feel a little bit of an extra stretch there. Take it on up, and on your next exhale, offer a gentle twist to one side. So we're not leaning back, long, tall, neutral spine, twisted. And back through center, going for the other side. Drawing the navel back to the spine, giving you space, in fact, to facilitate a twist, which is not only happening in the spine, but it's happening in the organs, it's happening in the front body, the side body, and the back body. And back to center. Let's take the right hand out and the arm to the side. Big breath up with the left arm and fold the body over, the torso over to the right. Notice all the stretch going on in the back of the body, from deep within the hip flexors, keeping the chest broad and wide as opposed to falling forward. Inhale, lift it on up, and exhale. Let's go for the other side. And again, if it's helpful to bring the earth up to meet you where you are, you're still stretching, but you're doing it in an appropriate and intelligent manner for where your body finds itself this morning, in this moment. And take it on up. Great. Let's do some hip rotations here. So on the exhale, drawing the upper body back, rolling it over to the side. On the inhale, coming forward, exhale to the side and back. So we're creating rotations through the hip and the torso, going one way and then going the other way. Mindfully moving with breath. Good. Let's get onto all fours. Creating a tabletop position on your mat. So the knees are hip distance apart here, and the hands are beneath the shoulders. And again, the core is engaged. So we're gently engaging through the abdominals. On an inhale, we're going to reach for cow, soft belly, tailbone super high in the sky, shoulders back away from the ears. Exhale, round for cat. Just as we did seated. Inhale for cow. And as big or as small a movement as feels good for you here, for a full body stretch. And 3 more, flowing with your breath. And back to a neutral tabletop position. Let us send the right leg behind us, turning the right toes under, rocking forward and back a little bit, just to get the musculature in the legs moving, tendons, joints, through the ankles, through the toes, the toe mounds, the heel, up the calf, behind the knee, thigh, glutes and quads. And then pop the leg on up into the sky. Now, it doesn't need to be super high. And point and flex the foot and rotate the ankle one way. Nice and slow. Can you feel all those little cricks going on as you rotate the ankle, as you wake the ankle up this morning? And then underneath you on the exhale and bring it towards the forehead. Let the shoulders round. Tuck in. And inhale it back on out, flexing the foot. 2 more, flowing with your breath. And then mindfully and super slow and in control, draw it out, the leg to the side, keeping the foot flexed, and inhale it back behind you. And again, out to the side, working those core muscles. And 1 more. And back. And lower the leg down so the knees land side by side. Let's take it on the left side. Left leg goes back, toes turned under, rock forward back. And pop the leg on up. Pointing and flexing and rotating the ankle. And then exhale, hugging it forward. Pull the navel to the spine. Inhale, stretch it up. 2 more. And then we're going to do 3 coming out to the side body, noticing where we need to shift through the pelvis to facilitate this movement. And notice what is happening in the core, in the hips. Where's the tension? And find a way to do the work and ease up a little. What can you do? And lower. Let's open the knees wide, touch the toes together, and come into a balasana, child's pose. And relax. Belly soft. 3 nice full breaths, big chest breaths, feeling the wings across your back. Stretch and open on the inhale. And then rock it forward, turn the toes under, and reach up for a down dog. Pedaling the legs and feet like a bicycle, mindfully. And then finding stillness. Don't worry if the heels are off the earth. Those little Achilles tendons can be super tight, especially before we've done a lot of movement in the beginning of the day. We're going to inhale to a high plank, so keeping the hips off the earth, bringing all the weight forward, feeling the core kick in here. Exhale, lift the belly and rock yourself back to down dog. And again, inhale to plank. Exhale to dog. Last one, inhale to plank. And then soften the knees down. Resting on the shins and the top of the feet. Hug the elbows in and control bringing your chin and chest to the earth. Leaving the pelvis off the earth. Then lower the whole body down to the earth. Hands beside chest. Inhale, just raising up the upper chest and the head. It's like a baby Bhujangasana, baby cobra. Exhale, lower, forehead to the earth. Inhale, come up a little more. If you're beginning to feel any tension in the lower back here, I'm talking tension, not challenge, right? Maybe you spread the legs a little wider. Try it. Or maybe you say, that's where I want to be today and no more than that. And lower. And then push up. Turn the toes under, but keep the knees on the same plane and just reach the hips back. Staying on the fingertips here and letting the forehead come to the earth. We stay on the fingertips so that the chest is wide and we're lifted up underneath the armpits. And we're stretching out, tractioning out the spine here. It's great for the spine. Good, and then rock forward, turn the toes under, or keep them turned under and press back for down dog. Let's raise the right leg up to the side behind us. Pushing up from under the thigh, reaching under the thigh to take it up to the sky. And then let's try to open the right thigh, the right hip, turning the torso to the right and letting the foot and the leg bend behind you. For trailing to the left side of the body, really let it trail down firmly through the palms and the fingers so you feel stable. And then take it back up to the sky and hug it under, bring it forward, place between the hands and lower the left knee down to the earth. And come on up for a lunge. Feel how it is in your knee here. If it feels like there's some tension or some harshness here, maybe you want to move the toes forward. But notice it for yourself and then move appropriately. As we gaze up and we soften the shoulders and we widen the heart and out and up, so we create a little bit more of a back bend in the lumbar spine. Notice how that feels. If it doesn't feel good for you, don't do it. Come more upright. Dropping the left hand down under the left shoulder, open for a twist. So we've pulled the hips back a little bit. We're not so much in a lunge here. Then drop the right hand down behind you. Reach forward, arm alongside the ear. Big bend, big lunge forward. Pull the hips back and open for the twist. Good. Hands come down each side of the front foot. Back toes turn under. Lift the belly. Take it back. Down dog. Lift leg up in the sky. And open the hip, open the thigh, twisting open with the torso to the left, bend the leg, let it trail over to the right. Really let it reach, stretching out that psoas muscle, big time. And back up to the sky. Hug it under, bring it forward, place it between the hands, and lower the right knee to the earth. And come on for lunge. Certainly, you could feel free to have the hands on the thighs here if that feels more stable for you. There's more of a sense of comfort and ease in the body here, because that's what we're reaching for. We move, we journey, we discover, but at the same time, we're not looking for stress in the body, but for a sense of ease, purpose and ease. Dropping the right hand down under the right shoulder, open for a twist to the left. And then sweep that left arm behind you and then along the left ear with a big bend through that left leg. Pulling the hips back, open for the twist. Hands down each side of the front foot, back toes under, lift the belly, take it back, down dog. Let's walk the feet into the hands, maybe on the tippy toes, all the way until we get to the front of the mat. Stretch up the back of the leg, and then bend the legs. Clasp the hands around the elbows, and enough bend in the legs so that we're creating a tabletop, not just belly to rest. And then just release the hands down to the earth. Offer a gentle sway here. Let the head go. Shoulders move. The head moves side to side. The chest moves. The belly moves. And then just let everything hang down. 3 breaths. This is great to do when you get out of bed in the morning before you start your day. Great to do at night before you get into bed. Standing by the side of your bed. Stretches out your spine. And then bring the belly to the spine and begin to roll up. Last thing that comes up is the head. It's like we're stacking the vertebra piece by piece by piece as we roll up. Good. Hands come together. Remember, the back of the thumbs touching the sternum. Close your eyes and let's see if we can find our center of gravity here. What is the sweet spot for us as we stand here in this body? Are we more forward in the front of our feet with our weight? Are we more in the heels? Can we find center? Because centered is harmonious. Centered is grounded. Center has ease. And center works for your nervous system. Good. All right, we're going to do some sun salutations, a couple of the warrior postures, a triangle, and a tree. We're going to be a tree too, okay? That's for our standing postures. All right, so let's begin at the front of the mat. Standing in Tadasana, mountain pose. Yes, it's a pose. It's not just a segue. Inhale, take it on up. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, bend the legs. Take the right leg back. Take the left leg back, down dog. Take the right foot forward between the hands. Pull the left leg forward, place between the hands. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, fold. Roll it on up. Just a basic sun salutation here. Dropping the hands down. And then we go again. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold. Tabletop. Exhale, take the left foot back. Inhale, take the right foot back. Bring the right foot forward. Bring the left foot forward. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, fold. And roll it up. Hands come down, touching the sternum. Inhale, reach up. And fold it down. Tabletop. And take the right leg back. Place the right foot on the ground, 45-degree angle. Come on up for warrior one. So both hips facing straight forward. Arms up, soft shoulders. Nice deep surrender in that knee if you have it. Remember, if there's tension, look where your foot is. Perhaps you want to move the toes more forward so the knee is kind of over the ankle. Find the way that works for your body. Good. Then open to warrior two. Soft shoulders. Breathe. On the exhale, we can rest the arm on the left thigh or rest it inside the left calf or put it on a block. And reaching the right body all the way over to the front of the mat. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, take it to the back of the mat. Side bend. One more way. Flowing this with your breath. And windmill the arms down each side of the front foot. Turn those back toes under and take it back for down dog. Walk, perhaps now with flat feet, into the hands. Straight legs if possible. Tailbone super high in the sky. Hips are super high. Tabletop. Fold it in. Roll it up. Other side. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, take the left leg back. Lower the foot. 45-degree angle. Reach on up. Take a breath. Soft shoulders. Remember the back bend, creating the back bend in the lumbar curve. Do it as it feels right for you. And open warrior two on the left side. Make sure that bent knee's not falling in, you guys. Okay? Keep it safe, keep it aligned. Thigh bone straight out in the center of the knee. Good. Exhale. Sweeping the side bend to the front of the mat. Soft shoulder here. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, reach it back. And one more each way. And windmill the arms down each side of the front foot. And take it back. Down dog. And walk the feet into the hands, perhaps back up on the toes. And lower the heels. Tabletop. Fold it in. Roll it up. Establishing your center of gravity again. Close the eyes. Take a couple breaths. Sense and feel where you are in space and time. Proprioception. Good. All right, warrior three. So warrior three is a balancing posture, okay? We have many options. It's one leg up in a tabletop flat back. Hands could be in namaste. Hands could be out in a T. Hands could be alongside the ears. Hands could be reverse. Namaste in your back. Or you can clasp, pull them away, and lift. If you need a little support or want to try this with a little support, because you can always let the support go if you wish, You can have a back of a chair close by. In my case, I have a balustrade on my deck close by. You can have a tabletop close by, or even a wall. Okay. And I'm going to do mine off the mat because I have these very uneven tiles, and then a squishy mat doesn't hold the balance. Okay, so I'm going to do it that way, but you do it the way that feels right for you. So we begin in Tadasana. Feel the earth beneath your feet before you start. Feel grounded and settled in the body. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, bend the legs and take the right leg back and draw all the weight forward. So it's all the way over on the left side. Raising the right leg up. Drawing the back down, creating this tabletop, and then deciding where your arm position should be, could be, wants to be. Strong core. Bend both legs and let the feet come to land. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, bend the legs. Take the left leg back. And when you're ready, raise it up. Breathe. And bend both legs. And let the feet come to land. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, bend the legs a little bit. Again, draw the weight on the left leg. Keep the hands in front of the left foot and raise the right leg up. Keep pushing up underneath that thigh of the right leg. Bend both legs. Let the feet come to land and sit back down for Utkatasana, chair pose. Bringing the insides of the ankle bones to touch, the knees to touch. And either you could keep the hands here, or you could raise the hands and arms up. All the weight's in the back of the heels here. Should be able almost to keep the toes off the ground here, okay? Inhale, keep in the squat position, but lifting up through the belly and the chest. Exhale, we're going to twist over to the right, leveraging the left elbow into the outside of the right knee, and then drawing the hands back in front of the heart, gazing up to the right. Now you can always drop the left hand down and sweep the right arm up to the sky. Back through center. Establish your position here first. Is your weight all in the back of the heels here? Booty out. Good. And take the twist over to the left. Breathe. Back through center. Fold it forward. And then take a nice wide stance along the long edge of your mat. Toes pointing straight forward on the long edge. And establish your tabletop position here. So hands down, probably towards the front of the toes. Again, find that center of gravity for yourself here. Inhale, tabletop, flat back, reach your heart forward. Exhale, bend the right knee. Take the hands with you so they remain underneath the shoulders. And take a lunge over to the right. For some people, they're going to go all the way down and their booty's going to drop all the way down, and they're going to balance with their hands, perhaps in namaste. Take it where it's appropriate for you. Inhale, tabletop center, draw the heart forward. Exhale, bend the left knee. Take the lunge over to the left. Inhale, tabletop, heart comes forward. This time, twist the body open to the right knee, right leg, hands on each side of the right leg, and fold the chest into the right thigh. You can also wrap the left hand around the outside of the right ankle as you sweep the chest and the belly into the right thigh. Inhale, tabletop, flat back, center. Exhale, sweep around to the outside of that left ankle and draw the body into the upper body, into the left thigh. Inhale, tabletop, last one, flat back. Now in that wide stance, just turn the whole body open to the right. Make sure the right hip's coming back into the body so the spine is straight. And on the exhale, fold in. Inhale. First, we reach the heart forward. Then we spin all the way open to the left. And on the exhale, fold in. Good. Bend the front leg and take it back for down dog. Good. And walk the feet into the hands. Bend the legs. Roll up nice and slow. Navel to spine. Stacking the vertebra. All the way up to Tadasana. Mountain pose. Or staff pose. All right, let's do tree. Vrikshasana. Okay? Two things about a tree. One, we need to root down strongly. Imagine you have roots. In this case, you're standing on one leg, so the roots, imagine you're sending roots out from under the standing foot. Okay? And then you're drawing up sustenance and nourishment from the earth. Okay? So there's the sense, even as we're rooting down and grounding down, connecting deeply beneath the earth, we're also lifting and drawing up all that goodness. So it's this beautiful dichotomy. The other thing that a tree must have, other than strong root connection and nourishment from the earth, is it must reach for the light, for the sun, right? And so at the same time as we're rooting, we're also lifting, lifting, lifting. And we think of that as from the hips on up, we are reaching up, connecting the sun, looking for light. In fact, just finding our own light, which we always have. It's always deep within us, right? It's never not there. Sometimes we just need to buff it a little bit, right? Okay, so let's try. You can have foot next to foot, foot on top of foot, foot in calf, foot in thigh, foot in, hip crease. Really doesn't matter where you decide to place it. Up to you. The idea is just to be a tree and practice our balance, because there's certainly balance is hugely important, but as we age, even more so, because if we fall and we're in a more aging body, it's so much harder to heal, right? It's not impossible, but it takes longer. Bones are more brittle, perhaps. So balance is huge. And I like every day to have a strong balance practice every day. All right, so pick your spot. Gazing down at something 6 to 8 feet in front of you is super helpful. That's something that's not moving. So not a shadow of a leaf, for example, that might be moving in the breeze as mine is on the deck, but something that's very stable, that you can focus your gaze, your drishti on. Pushing deeply the standing leg into the opposite foot and vice versa. And then spreading the toes and widening. Imagine you can widen that standing foot like an elephant foot. for good displacement on the earth, right? And then drawing up to the sky. And if you fall out, it's okay. You just fall out and you come back. And then maybe we can play around with our branches, aka our arms and our hands. We can move a little bit and see what happens. It's curiosity, right? Remember your beginner's mind. Don't get too attached to anything. Attachment is suffering. And then when you're ready, bring your hands back to wherever it was you started from and gently release. And shake it out if that feels good. And I didn't say this, but if you feel like you haven't done a lot of exercise for a while, we really always encourage people to, check in with your healthcare provider and to be super mindful within your practice. I always say, do what's appropriate or do what allows you to feel a sense of ease. But I have this meniscus thing. And so I just didn't practice what I was preaching right there because my knee started to hurt as I was standing in a tree. And so in that space, what probably should have happened is I just would have immediately come out of it and just waited, right? And so learn from my mistakes too, right? Just honor your body where it is. If you have something that's really sore today, why aggravate it, right? Treat it with a little loving kindness, a little gentleness, and it'll reward you, right? It'll heal faster. All right, let's try the other side. Just be kind to the body. Be kind to your heart, your spirit. Maybe try closing your eyes here for a sec. See what happens. Do it gently. Interesting, isn't it? And shake it out. All right, let's get down on the ground. See what the time is here. So we're just going to lay down here and draw the knees into the chest. And hug around the shins. And just roll a little side to side here. And notice here how nice that feels on your spine, on your back. Notice also that you need some core engagement here to prevent you from falling all the way over to the side. And yet if you fall over to the side, doesn't matter. Take the legs up to the sky, arms out to the side in a nice wide T. Just point and flex the feet here a little bit. And then let the left leg, either left foot rests on the earth or whole of the left leg lays down on the earth. Maybe hold the big toe, the right big toe with the right hand, thumb and forefinger here, if you can. Or if you have a scarf or a towel or a sarong, a cloth of some sort, you can certainly wrap that around, or a ribbon or whatever you might have floating around. And you can hold that just in the right hand. And we're just going to rock the leg from side to side, just opening up that little groin muscle there that may be super tight. And then we're going to take the leg all the way over to the right, to wherever it is that it's appropriate for it to be. Now, if you have some books or some blocks or a bolster or some pillows, you can even let the leg rest on top of it. So you can release the hand that's holding the foot, perhaps. And so you can find some sense of ease and comfort here. Just take a couple more breaths here. It's a nice big opening, not only for the hip, but for the inner thigh. The abductors and the adductors are both getting the stretch. And then engage strongly through the core as you bring the leg back on up. And then swap hands. Same leg stays up in the sky, but just swap hands. And now we're going to cross the leg over. So first we open the hip, and now we're closing the hip. So for those of us with super tight hips, this is a good thing to do to keep working on trying to find not only stability, but some mobility in the hips, thereby a sense of ease as we move through life. Okay, and then draw it back on up, and then bend it. Place the foot down on the ground, and or place the leg on the earth, and pick up the left leg. So we're doing both sides, yeah? And again, just rocking it across the midline of the body. It's like we give the body a little sort of mini taste of what we're going to be asking it to do in just a moment. So it's not a shock. And then open it out to the left. Now, if you need to have a bend in the knee, the working leg, that's fine. If the leg doesn't want to go that far over because perhaps there's not a lot of flexibility, that's fine. It's all fine. Whatever you're doing, it's a whole lot better than just merely sitting still. You're doing something. You're taking action for some loving care and kindness for your body. And not just your body. Physiology, your emotional self, the spiritual self. And then draw the leg on up and swap hands. And cross the leg over to the other side, letting that hip come well up and over, right? And yes, if you can maintain the shoulder blades, aka your wings on the earth, great. If not, let them come off. So really focusing here on the hips mostly. So don't worry about what the top part of the body is doing so much. Drawing it back on up. Release it down to the earth. And then place the feet, bend the legs, and place the feet on the outer edges of the mat. And just let the knees come to touch. And then draw the legs back into the chest. And then we're just going to let the legs staying together like this come to land on one side of the body. And here we are looking to see if we can keep much of our wings on the earth for this final restorative twist, last posture here. And perhaps turn the head away from the way the knees are pointing. So if the knees have landed to your right, perhaps turning the head a little bit to the left. But again, making sure there is some sense of comfort and ease in the neck. This is out of the restorative tradition, the supine twists, and it needs to be comfortable. You need to be comfortable. Or I invite you to be comfortable. Close the eyes. Keep here in your body, not in your overthinking mind, but keep rooted and grounded here in your body. Feeling the sensations of tissues, of muscles, of joints, of tendons, of movement in the body as you feel it. And if you can't feel that much, if that kind of sensitivity, that awareness is not so easy to access in this moment, just keep your attention on your breath. One breath at a time. What can you feel and notice and sense in a single inhale, in a single exhale? And then engage through the core. Ask the core to help you lift the legs back up through center and let them come to land on the other side. And settle yourself here. Just breathe. And then engage the core, draw the legs on up, and just let the legs fall out in front of you, separating the feet and the legs widely enough so the feet can just fall open to the side and the arms wide away from the body so that there's a feeling of breeze and air moving up and down the entire body, all the limbs. Lift the head up and maybe the upper back and settle it down again so that you find your sweet spot here. And then just close the eyes and totally relax. You have done enough. You are enough. You are always enough. And there's no one out there in the world more deserving of your loving kindness, of your careful, mindful attention, of your sweetness and tenderness than you. So I found this beautiful piece as you lay here. I just wanted to read it to you in closing. It's written by Clarissa Pinkola Estes, and it's called Remember Who and What You Are. And as you lay here, I hope in a place of gentleness and sweetness and tenderness for yourself and your practice. We do not become healers. We came as healers. We are. Some of us are still catching up to what we are. We do not become storytellers. We came as carriers of the stories that we and our ancestors actually lived. We are. Some of us are still catching up to what we are. We do not become artists. We came as artists. We are. Some of us are still catching up to what we are. We do not become writers, dancers, musicians, helpers, peacemakers. We came as such. We are. Some of us are still catching up to what we are. We do not learn to love in this sense. We came as love. We are love. some of us are still catching up to who we truly are. So I always like to close with this little metta meditation, which I offer you to maybe adopt for yourself. And then as you become more comfortable with it for you as an intention and a sankalpa for yourself, then maybe you can begin to take it out to others, people in your life, people in your world, people you know, people you don't know, your community, your island, your country. But it must begin with you, must begin with me, and it must begin with you. So on your next in and out breath, offer to yourself this little mantra, may I be well. And then, may I be safe. May I be happy. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be well. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be peaceful and at ease. Thank you so much for coming to practice today. As long as you have time to lay in the space of quiet intention, please feel free to do so. Thank you and namaste.